you all, welcome back to my preview for the Alabama and Oklahoma college football playoff game. This is part 4, and today I'm going to break down the receiving aspect of both teams, like the wide receivers who are making those catches, all the statistics regarding receiving, not all of them, but a good bit of them. I'm really going to break down kind of like total catch percentages and then some of the key players to watch out for and like how that works out and some analysis of what these numbers mean after I go over it. So as usual, I'm starting with the Oklahoma statistics and I'm moving to Alabama, and then let's just talk about it and get ready to ask your questions in the comment section. I really want to talk to you all about it. Make sure you subscribe and click the notification button so that you can be up to date for all of my videos heading up for this before this game. So let's talk about Oklahoma. So one thing I got to note right off the bat is that 55% of Oklahoma's receptions came from 2 receivers. It's really interesting because Oklahoma is a team that one of my preconceived notions that they like throw the ball all around and spread it out to a whole bunch of different guys. And to some extent, that is true. But when you break down the numbers, there's 2 guys who get the most of the receptions and had the most of and over half of the yards. Like I said, 55%. 2 receivers went over 1,000 yards. Like I said, they were the main targets. And these 2 are Marquise Hollywood Brown, who unfortunately got injured and carted off the field in their last game. And I want to see him healthy. I want him to be back, but I highly doubt that he's going to be 100% to go against Alabama, which is sad because I want the best of the best. And CeeDee Lamb. Marquise Brown, or Hollywood, I'll call him Hollywood, 75 receptions, which is 31% of their team's receptions for 1,318 yards, or basically 17.6 yards per catch, and 10 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 57 receptions, which is 24% of their total receptions of 1,049 yards and 18.4 yards per catch, with 10 touchdowns. Like I said, that's 55%. And then, so you'll see why that's significant as I continue to break this down. Their next 3 leading receivers are Lee Morris, Grant Calcaterra, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Oklahoma fans, please correct me, he's their tight end, and Carson Meyer, the fullback. So Lee Morris, 21 receptions, which is only 9% of the total receptions, for 457 yards. He's the 3rd leading receiver at 457 yards. 2 guys over 1,000, the next guys underneath 500. But he has the highest yards per catch, actually, with 21.8, with 8 touchdowns. Then Grant Calcaterra, who actually has more receptions than Lee Morris, but less yards. So he counts for 10% of the receptions at 25, 378 yards, 15.1 yards per catch with 6 touchdowns. And like I said, the fullback is the 5th leading at 7% of the catches with 16 receptions, 276 yards, 17.3 yards per catch, which is crazy. I'm like, what in the world is this fullback doing? And 4 touchdowns. Like, if you think that's crazy, like, comment that. Why does the fullback have, 17.3 yards per catch? Maybe he's just a forgotten guy and he's always getting a bunch of yak, but that's just crazy. So when you break that down, like I said, you see that 55% of the total receptions come from 2 guys, and one of those guys is injured. What do you think that means? How do you think that will play into this game? Well, first of all, Oklahoma fans, do you expect Hollywood to play and be ready to go? Do you think, however percentage that he is, he's going to make a big impact no matter if he's 100% or not? Let's answer that. Somebody put that in the comment section. And 2, Oklahoma fans, are you worried that your team has 55% of its total production from the passing game coming from 2 receivers? Is that concerning to you, or are you okay with that based upon what you've seen all season? No, this isn't a dig or anything out of the way. I'm just asking. I want to know. This is really interesting to me. That's in light of how Alabama does its receiving. So let's look at this. I want you to look. Alabama's receiving corps has 5 receivers with at least 30 catches, 500 yards, 17 yards per catch, and 5 touchdowns. I repeat, 5 receivers with that distinction. Jeudy, who is the leading receiver, has 59 receptions, which is 24% of the total receptions, for 1,103 yards, 19 yards per catch at 12 touchdowns. Jaylen Waddle, a true freshman, 41 receptions for 17% of the catches, 803 yards, 20 yards per catch. This guy's a monster. 7 touchdowns. Henry Ruggs at 42 receptions, so 2 receivers around the same amount, basically 17% of the receptions again, for 724 yards, 17.2 yards per catch, and 10 touchdowns. Irv Smith, the tight end, 38 receptions, which is 15% of the total receptions, for 648 yards, 17.1 yards per catch. Tight end with 17.1 yards per catch, and 7 touchdowns. And finally, Devonta Smith, who got hurt like a little bit in the season and came back and still eating them up. 30 receptions or 524 yards. So 30 receptions is 12% of the total receptions. 17.5 yards per catch and 5 touchdowns. Like I said, that adds up to 5 receivers with at least 30 catches, 500 yards, 17 yards per catch, and 5 touchdowns. So Alabama's 5 receivers together make up for 85% of the passing attack. So Alabama's passing attack is actually more diversified in spreading the ball around to different guys if you break down the numbers in that way, which is interesting to me. I just thought, are you surprised by that? If you're surprised by that, comment that below. Let me know if you are. Because it was just really interesting to see, like, well, at least in relation to Oklahoma, like, would you thought, before I broke this down, would you have thought that Oklahoma was more diversified in who it passed the ball to, or would you have thought it would have been Alabama? So Tua and Jaylen, because Jaylen does have 50 of the completions for the Alabama offense this year, whereas like Kyler Murray had the majority of his teams. But Jalen Hurts does have 50 of these same completions. Jaylen and Tua spread the ball out a little bit more than Murray does. Like I said, 5 receivers with at least 12% of the total completions. In comparison, like I said, Kyler has 2 receivers with over 20% of the completions, and the rest of his receivers are 10% or less. So that's just really interesting to me. Like, that really caught my attention. That's basically what this video is about. It's kind of crazy. So, but at the end of the day, the sad news is that Oklahoma's top receiving threat, Hollywood Brown, is injured. And he has over 30% of total receptions by himself. I do not want him to miss this game. I do not want him to be hurt, but I also want him to recover. It would have been great to see him play at full strength. So if he's not full strength, it just won't be the same. But it's crazy to think about. Man, what do you all think? Leave the comments before. I asked you a lot of questions, so please answer them all if you can. And I'll see you for the next video. Be on the lookout for it. Like I said, turn on notifications.